this opportunity came up. And I
think we were the first three to sign
my first time here.
Well, I'd like to welcome everybody and make a few introductions and get this started. I do have one request. We are recording this, so please do not talk. Please save your questions and your comments for the end. And the other thing is, please turn off your ringers to your phone, and if you have to answer your phone, please step out so that we can keep recording. And I believe, like I said before, some people may need to leave to get back to lunch, so, or, back to work. So I'd like to make introductions, and for those that don't know me, I am Teresa Broadman. I am an activities assistant with Amy Gardner, and Amy's over, she's right there. And, but I'm also the travel coordinator, so I'm the one that does the coach bus trips, overnight ones. Amy handles the sports and the productions like Elijah that we're doing. Terry, our other director, is over here.
Hi.
Jane Hogue, she's the one that's recording us, and she does everything. We even pull her over to our side sometimes. So, and then Mindy Johns, and Mindy, she's our professional driver. She's got her CDL, and she can drive a big coach bus, so she's very confident in driving our little van. So it's underkill. It's a piece of cake for her. So, anyways, Janine couldn't be here. She's part of our activity staff, and but we love what we do, and we're really excited about our upcoming trips this year. And Amy's always challenging me, and she said, Teresa, I want you to teach how to pack light. But it's been a great learning experience for me, and I got a lot of research, so I hope that you get something out of this. And if you ever have any questions, if you leave here and you have questions, always feel free to call the office, and we'll try to help you out. Or if you say, where did she buy that at? Give me a call, and I'll see if I can remember. So today, I did pack for two totally different trips. I packed for Ireland, which we are doing for 10 Council on Aging, is taking 42 people to Ireland with Colette, April the 10th. So I did pack for that trip, which is a cooler climate. I can almost do it on a carry-on, but I decided to check a bag. So, but I will show you how I packed for that. And I laid out my clothes, and I'll get into that. And then I also packed for Florida, because I annually go on a personal trip to Florida, and that's a totally different look. It's lighter clothes, it's warm, and so I did pack for both of them, and I will show you. I think that it's common for most of us to have those types of trips. Okay, first of all, I'm gonna demonstrate bags. I know a lot of us have our luggage that we've had for years. We realized when we went to New Orleans that some of the clients said to us, oh my gosh, I got to up my game. I didn't realize how luggage had changed. It's been so long since they'd flown, they didn't realize how the luggage had changed, how the carry-ons had changed, and stuff like that. So I wanted to kind of have you think about a few things. My luggage is probably 10 years old, so it's not brand new. And there's a lot of the hard covers right now that are out that's kind of rubbery, and they are very light. They're not like the old hard covers where they're real heavy. But that's probably one of the most important things is you want to think light, because some of the airlines are only allow 40 pounds for their checked luggage, or 50 pounds. And anything over that, you got to pay. So it gets expensive. So you want to get as light as you can, but you want durability. I like handles. I like to make sure it has 2 or 3 handles. And I like 4 wheels because they're easy to maneuver and move around. This handle, the only thing is make sure it's a good quality. I had to get rid of a set of luggage because this handle just quit working, going up and down. So this is great to get through the airport. This is my smaller checked luggage piece, and this is what I plan to take to Ireland. I do have one that's much bigger that I took to Italy, I learned really on that trip the importance of packing light, because our first hotel was our room was on the 6th floor, and they had one little tiny elevator, and there were elderly people that were with us that needed that elevator, and their one piece of luggage or 2 pieces of luggage, all of them go up on that elevator. So we had to lug our luggage, me and my roommate, up 6 flights of stairs. And after a really, really super long day of flying overnight and flying into Rome and then driving whatever it is, 6 or 8 hours to Assisi. So, so keep that in mind when you're packing, that you don't know what circumstances you're going to arrive at that you have to lug your luggage around. Or when we were in Nashville, we had paid for luggage and they forgot us. And so a lot of our clients were having to bring their luggage down and get on the bus. So you can have the best laid plans, but you might end up having to take care of your own luggage. And sometimes you're rushing for a plane, so we try to help you as much as possible, but sometimes things can be out of our hand and we can't help. So just keep that in mind. You can get these straps that help with things. So I have seen people strap this bigger piece and the smaller piece around each other and secure it and pull it on, 8 wheels into an airport. But then you're going to check this one and you're just going to have your carry-on and whatever, your personal bag. So these are nice. This is also nice. Whatever strapped to your, they're getting more stricter, but usually you can strap things to this luggage. So I'll use this for instance. My pillow, which I will be taking to Ireland. But you can strap it on like that, or you can strap your jackets in there or another bag, and it's easier to get it through the airport. My pillow actually it uses a lantern. So these are really nice, or not a lantern, I wouldn't call these, but these little
carabiner.
Yes, they're really nice for little add-ons to attach things. So you might throw a couple of these in. You can find them at hardware stores like Lowe's or Menards. Make sure that you remove all your other luggage tags from previous flights, like all those stickers or those things that tags that the airport puts on. Remove all those because those are from a previous flight. I've had people show up for trips and still have those on and not realize when we went to New Orleans, they didn't realize that they have to remove those so that that can help get your luggage lost. Make sure all of your luggage always has an ID on it, and I never take mine off. So this one actually has a built-in ID. Both of these, they also have one right here that's built in, and so that's something you might want to look at when you're buying luggage. But I recommend you put the luggage tag on with all your information and you never take it off. But be careful because when we went to New Orleans, they had a luggage tag on it and they looked at it when we arrived at the airport and they realized they had loaned it to their son and it was his tag. So their tag, they didn't have their tag on. So make sure that you check that before you leave home. I'm also very fond of these tiles. You have an app on your phone. These are actually called tiles, but you can buy Apple AirTags or you can buy what's the other ones? Android tags, and you can get an app, and it'll tell you at all times where that piece of luggage is at. But I also put one in my wallet. This is a thin one that goes in like your wallet, but I put it in all of my luggage. So if my luggage gets lost, I can look on that app, and as long as it's connected to the internet, it will be found. And so this does help with lost luggage and security. So that is,
Teresa, what was those called?
these are called tiles, but you can get Apple tags or Android tags. Also, you would think purple luggage, that'd be easy to identify when you're getting your luggage pickup. Doesn't always work. So it's always a good idea to put a scarf or like a kerchief on or something. Now they're selling these tags you can buy that have like little animals and stuff on. Anything that will help you identify that you say, yes, that's my luggage. So mine's just a kerchief. A friend of ours he took a bunch of people on vacation, or didn't take us, but invited us to go with them on vacation. And he bought everybody's these little luggage wraps, handle wraps. And they're nice too. And you can buy them, like Amazon's the only other place I've seen them. But sometimes they're promotional things. So sometimes like a business will give them out. So they're a nice little handy thing to have. Always take pictures of your luggage and keep it on your phone. Because then if your luggage gets lost, you have a picture of it to show it to the airlines. And say, this is my luggage, and it helps them identify it to find it better. Because otherwise you have to go through this big catalog and say, yeah, it looks like that. And honestly, one time I went on a trip and last minute I changed luggage, and I saw my luggage sitting out in the hallway at the hotel. Didn't realize it was my luggage, and the next day we got on the bus and left. I didn't even know my luggage got taken off the bus. I was just planning on taking my overnight. Somebody had taken it off the bus. My luggage got left behind at that hotel. Luckily, we were coming back to that hotel on the way home when I was able to recover my luggage. So I forgot that I changed from my purple luggage to my black luggage. So it's always a good idea to take a picture of it so that you know what you are taking. Always pack your heavier items on your carry-on bag, except for you gotta make sure you can lift it up into that overhead compartment, or hope that there's a really strong young guy close by that can help you do that. But the reason is, again, you get charged for if it's over 40 or 50 pounds if you check it. So when I'm going, for instance, I'm going to Ireland, I'm probably gonna take rain boots because it's notorious for raining over there. And unless I find a really nice light pair, I'll probably throw those on my carry-on. So some of your heavier things you want to throw on your carry-on. Never put your medication or valuables in your checked luggage. Always put it in your carry-on. And I recommend that you not take anything sentimental. When I travel, especially in another country, I leave my wedding rings, my diamonds, I leave it at home in my safe. I do not take them. Too many people get stolen or lost. I know someone that was in the Virgin Islands, and she was walking a beach where the cruise lines were always at, and she found a very expensive diamond ring on the beach. And she reported it to the police, and they said, you might as well keep it. It was on a cruise ship, and they'll never come back to get it. We got your number in case somebody does. So she got to keep this really expensive ring. Yeah. Oh. So, and I always watch the weather for the destination I'm going to. Weather Channel is great for that. You can put in where you're going. It'll tell you the weather for the next 10 days. And can't always rely on it, but it's a good tool to use so that you kind of know how to dress, especially for bad weather. If it says it's going to rain, you might as well plan on it's going to rain, so take your rain gear. I always try to put 2 complete sets in the carry-on of clothing. If I'm checking a bag, in case that luggage does get lost, I've got something that I can wear for at least a few days, and that is exactly what happened when I was on my way to Savannah and my luggage got lost in Cherokee. I had enough clothing with me to get me through. Unfortunately, I had put my medication in the big bag, and I had to go to the pharmacy to get my medication filled. So that's where I'm very adamant that you put your medication in a bag. Talking about medication, so there's some different options for taking your medication, and everybody has seen these little medicine packets. They don't take up much room, if that's enough. This one is not big enough for 10 days in Ireland. You can pack 10 of these or more, because I recommend that you take a couple extra days with you in case you have plane problems and you have to stay a couple more days. But I really like these little bags and then put them in like this little bag like this. You can buy these at Drug Mart, and you can put your medication and you label it. So I put it in for every day, AM and PM. But what I would recommend that if you do that especially going to another country, that like their prescriptions are different than our prescriptions. But I recommend that you get your printout from your pharmacy. Drug Mart gives this to me every time I get a refill, and just put it with your medication, so that if they question anything, you do have proof. I have been many places with many people, and I have never had any problems with the pills that they have taken. But I would be really careful. Don't take any contraband, because just because marijuana is legal in Ohio does not mean it's legal in other states, let alone other countries. So in other countries, it's a serious offense if you have marijuana on you. So it can be, not always, but it can be. So I would leave that behind, or check it very hard to make sure that you can take it. I also do airborne. Before I leave, I used to get sick every time I flew, every time. And I'm not one to promote supplements and stuff, but I used to get the flu shot, and I still would get sick every time. And my bonus daughter is a teacher, and she told me to take airborne. And I take airborne now, and I, knock on wood, I haven't gotten sick.
You take it the whole time?
I take it before I go, and I take it while I'm there. Right now, I've been taking it all the time because the flu's going around, and so I have really faithfully been taking airborne or immune. They're about the same thing, I think. And I always have problems when I'm on vacation, and I take Benefiber. So when I went to Italy, I was miserable, and so I will be taking Benefiber, and I get the clear, and you can get Metamucil, but this is great because it will go in my coffee. As long as it's not carbonated, it mixes really well. So if you have that same kind of problem, that's why I recommend lots of water. This is my travel water bottle. I have a filter for it, and you cannot take it through security, TSA, with water in it. You can take it through empty and fill it up before you get on the plane. And I got this one because it isn't bulky. It folds down to nothing if I'm not using it, because I hate having extra things to carry around. If it filled, it will fit in the side pocket of my personal bag of my backpack.
Does that filter come with it when you purchase it?
It can. You can buy it either way. I was going to demonstrate how to pack your CPAP and still have room, and Mindy pointed out to me today that your CPAP is considered a medical equipment. So if you have a CPAP, the airlines will let you carry it separately as another carry-on. So you can just bring it in your whatever, your carry bag, and you can do that separately. The one thing I learned about this project is decant. And I didn't know what that word was before. But there's all these little bottles that you can use. This is a spray bottle. This one right here came in an eyeglass kit. And if it's empty, I would upcycle it, and you can put hairspray in there, you can put Downy Wrinkle in there. You can put anything that you spray on in here to use and not take this bottle. Look how the difference in that. And even if I took 2 of these, it's still not going to take up as much room as this one. So the same way with these little bottles. There's these little bottles you can get, or you can reuse like little tiny bottles, like essential oil, because it'll keep that smell. But you can get these little bottles and put enough moisturizer in to last you a week. I used one of the things I had read was to take your contact lens case, and you can buy a package like that, and you can put your foundation in one and your moisturizer in one, and things like that. And I tested it, and I put my foundation in, and it lasted me a week. And so this is much smaller than throwing in my cosmetic foundation or my moisturizer. So just make sure you label it, because you're not going to remember what you put in there. So just get a magic marker and do that. And there's these these that you can put your stuff in. Now, I never take shampoo with me because the hotels here always have shampoo. I do take conditioner because I use conditioner in my hair every time. But these are an option. They're flexible, but they're pretty big too. So these, I don't know that I think they're that great for when you're trying to save a lot of space. But these do work. What I like for my facial cleanser is these little individual bags. And these little tiny ones, I found these at Kohl's. So you can buy these and just throw in what you need for the week, and then you pitch them when you're done, and you don't have to worry about the extra cleansers and stuff. And these came from Costco, so they're a little bit bigger. And the other thing I do is this is the size I use a lot, and I'll take out what I need for my trip and throw them in a little tiny Ziploc bag. All the stuff saves space. It saves a lot more space than until I watched this, I couldn't get everything I wanted to take in my bag. But don't start a new beauty regimen before you go. For more reasons than one. I found out on vacation that I was allergic to olive oil. What is it? Oil of Olay. Of all things, it's not so much it's the body lotions or the body. There's something in them. I can do anything else. It's the only thing I've ever found I'm allergic to. But of course, it's always when I go out in the sun. It's something about when I use them and then go out in the sun, it activates some reaction, and I get a rash. So, anyways, this is a shampoo bar, and they actually I seen this on a YouTube video, and so I got one. I haven't tried it yet. But the lady that was promoting it said they're really great. What you do is you cut off the amount you need for your trip, and you can use it for shampoo, and you can also use it for soap. But again, most of the hotels have Dove or something. They have some kind of soap for you. And I'll get into it in a minute, but I'm taking a freshen up bag for our overnight flight. So it's going to be a bag that has in the essentials to use after a flight on a plane. And you're not going to have the convenience of a hotel room. We're going to be sleeping on the plane overnight, arriving in Dublin early in the morning, and you're going to want to freshen up a little bit. But this was one of the things, so I didn't have to throw leave my toothbrush and my thing. They're little individual toothbrushes, and just add a little bit of water, and you can use them and pinch them. So, or you can just take your toothbrush. You don't have to use these ideas. I'm just trying to help you see that there are things out there to help you with this.
Where did you find the toothbrushes?
I got those off of Amazon.
So they already got the toothpaste on them?
Yes. So, and then we have small deodorants. You can buy the real little deodorants, and they also have deodorant wipes that you can use. These I found out to Walmart. I haven't tried them yet, but these you can buy at Drug Mart or Walmart. So just little tiny size, and it'll last you at least a week. It'll be good for. Okay. For the makeup, this is what I did. I used Clinique, and they had this little sample thing. It has absolutely everything that I need: mascara, eyeliner, moisturizer. The only thing it doesn't have is foundation. It even has lipstick. So and it even has a little bag that comes with it, so that's an option too. I like to, with me traveling a lot, I had one and I end up getting another one to have on hand for when the first one runs out, because I just throw that bag in and it has almost everything I need. You can also buy the moisturizer like this. You can buy these at TJ Maxx. Of course, your little toothbrush, my bottle. For jewelry, I don't take very much. I usually end up wearing the same earrings, whatever I have on, that's usually what I keep on. But if you do want a little bit of variety, a little bag like this, or a little container like this, and just throw a couple things in, takes hard enough, just a little crack in your suitcase and you can throw those in. But I usually wear the same thing the whole trip, so. If most of the hotels and stuff have irons, I don't know what it's like, what it's going to be like in Ireland, but they should have irons in the room. If not, you know, a little thing of wrinkle release is good. I would actually decant it and put it into one of those little spray bottles. So that is an option. I actually, I'm trying to pick clothes that do not wrinkle. Back to in-flight. This is probably what I'm going to wear to Ireland. For Florida, I'll change it up probably a little bit. I'll probably leave jeans, depending on what the weather is here, a t-shirt. But I have a lightweight shirt on underneath this jacket, underneath this sweater. This sweater, I can use it on its own, or I can use it as a layer. I recommend that you wear layers, especially on the plane, on the bus, because nobody has the same thermostat. And you can't expect the bus to turn it up or you know, warm it up or cool it down just for you, because they're gonna have 41 other people to try and keep comfortable. So it's always a good idea to take a couple layers. I'll have this and this sweatshirt jacket that I can add, that, you know, to stay warm. And I will have these both handy on the flight. Florida, you know, I'll probably just have a t-shirt and a jacket. And so it's just a 2-hour flight. So I should be comfortable. Now, going to Ireland, I recommend, I learned my lesson when I went to Italy. That's been 15 years ago. My ankles swelled up so bad when I got home. I didn't realize that would ever happen. And so I will be wearing compression socks on the flight. And we actually had a donation yesterday. Somebody donated a whole box of compression socks. And so we brought them. If anybody wants compression socks, you're more than welcome to, at the end, after this is over, grab a pair. I do recommend compression socks because of the flying, the high altitude, all that time, you may very much swell up. Some people did not, and you may not, but I'm not taking chances because it was kind of scary because I just didn't know that would happen. Comfortable shoes. Something like this. I probably will do Skechers that you can kick, you know, slip in and slip out of easily, or something like that. Because if we're sleeping on the plane, I want to be able to kick off my shoes. That long of a flight, I want to kick off my shoes and be comfortable. So, so you do whatever you like. But when I go to Florida, I'll have my flip-flops on. I'll change those in the airport. I'll be ready. Cords. I will wrap my phone cords up. I will use Velcro. You can buy these in the tool department at Walmart or Lowe's, and you cut off the size you need. It helps keep them organized. And there's all kinds of different converters out there. And for Ireland, you will, whenever you go across seas to another country, they don't use our electric. So this is a converter for other countries, and you pick which country you need, and you just plug this in, and it goes like this, and you it has all this. I like this one because it has a long cord, and because you never know. Some of the old hotels, one of the hotels we're going to stay in Ireland is a castle. I have no idea where the electric cord is going to be. I know in Assisi we only had 2 electrical outlets in the room, so I kind of like this one because I have multiple options. Plus, I have for my phone adapters for the C connection and the USB port. So, and it has an on and off button. But I kind of like this because if the plug-in's behind a side table, you can plug this in and pull this out and have it sit on your.
Is that Amazon?
Yes, I did get this through Amazon. You can buy different ones I see them at TJ Maxx all the time. TJ Maxx has a great, and so does Kohl's has a decent one. I was only at the Kohl's in Marion. It's kind of scouting for this stuff. TJ Maxx had they have a great selection of this kind of stuff. And it's not always with their electric stuff. Sometimes it's over with their phone cords and stuff right there by the checkout. But they have a great amount of helpful things for traveling. So, and this will go on my carry-on bag because if my luggage gets lost, this is something I feel is you need your cords. And I will be taking, and I'll show what's in my personal bag here in a minute. But I will be carrying charge packs, we call them, with me. Power banks with me. And I almost recommend too, I haven't found a decent small one yet, but I'll be taking a big one because they have a lot of power on them. But I'll probably also be taking they have some and I haven't been able to find them. Mine, I wore it out, but it's about the size of a lipstick case, just a little bit bigger than a lipstick case. And that's nice because I'm not going to be carrying a big bag with me all the time. You know, I'll be doing the crossover bag. So that was all. Back to weight. One of the best tools I've ever found for traveling is a scale. It doesn't take up that much room. The only thing I recommend is you can read the scale, and so you calculate it so that it says right now this is 6.3 pounds, and so you just hold it, put your luggage on the hook, and it tells you how much it weighs. It's great for traveling because you buy souvenirs. You know, you might be 40 pounds, you think, well, I got enough space, you know. But then you go to come home and you bought 3 sweatshirts and a new bag, pair of, Irish boots, leather boots or something. And all of a sudden your weight goes up and then you're scrambling. You get to the airport, they put it on the scale and they say, you're over, it's gonna cost you $40. And you're like trying to get stuff out of there, get it on your carry-on, and it is not fun. I've been there. Ask me how I know. So I purchased one of these. I actually recently got rid of it because I couldn't read the display anymore. But I always take it with me so that I know how much the luggage weighs before I leave the hotel and I don't have to scramble. So to me, it's a good investment. They're only like $8-10. So that's just an idea. My sunglasses. this thing is looking really bad, I've washed it. I've had this for several years. They're hard to find, but they're sunglass holder or eyeglass holder on a clip. And they're nice, especially going through the hotel, or like I said, I wear a crossbody and they don't hold very much. I can clip this onto the side of my bag, and my sunglasses are right there, they're protected, and I don't have to really worry about losing them. So, this is my rain poncho. You can also buy some like that for Ireland. I recommend it. Sounds like we're gonna be there during rainy season. I have my puffer jacket. This is the jacket I'm gonna take. This is my old one. I wanted to show it two different versions. So I love this so much. It's got 3 holes in it. It's time to retire it. And I kept it for this presentation. I bought the exact same one. It's 32 Below is the name of the company. And it squishes down to this size, and it'll even squish even more than that. And it is the warmest thing. It is super light. And I think it's waterproof. Somebody told me that if it gets really soaked, it's gonna soak through. I don't know. I have worn this in all kinds of weather, and I don't think it will. But I've been in this, torrential downpour in it. But I'll check the weather before we go, and then I'll decide if I want something else. But these are super light. I will also be taking it when I go to Florida because I don't know what the weather's gonna be like. We're down there, throw in my suitcase when I get back. I will have it. It will keep me more than warm. I wore this one all winter long. That's why it's got holes in it. and that's the only thing. And that's why it's good to keep it in a case like this when you're traveling, because it does, the fabric is so light, it does kind of rip easily. So you get stuck in a zipper or something when you're trying to put in a suitcase. I think that's how I got the first grip of it. So something like that, something light. Again, you're gonna have to pack it. You want it light. Plus, you're gonna be carrying it around in your ear. And this is one thing that those straps are nice for. You can strap this with one of those straps to your suitcase, or you can just throw that in over. So. Safety, Mindy and I bought these, and Mindy bought one off of me. You can buy them in pairs. I'm just super cautious. I will be in my own room, and a lot of times I travel and I am in my own room, and I don't think you can have too much security. I know we got good locks on the doors, and I'm not really scared about it, but I don't think you can be too cautious. So you turn it on, you put it underneath the door, close your ears because it's going to be loud. So it's going to scare somebody away if they try to get into your door while you're sleeping or you're in the shower. They're just called the hotel door alarms. Just search that.
That salmon ghost.
And again, they came from Amazon. I don't know where else you can get them. My bonus daughter, she turned me on to them several years ago when she had her own apartment. She kept one underneath her door in her apartment. So they're $5. So they're a good investment. Okay, so I always take a tool, and then this has saved my butt. I had another one like this, and it got confiscated by TSA because while I was in San Diego, California, my nephew, who was taking me and my sister around all these touristy places, he had a Jeep, and the Jeep broke down, and don't ask me what was wrong with it, but he Googled it on his phone, and it said what would fix it was, he needed a pair of pliers, I think, and a zip tie. So he sent his girlfriend at the time, now wife, into one of the restaurants to see if she could get a zip tie. She came back with the zip tie, but he's like, oh, now I need a pair of pliers or something, whatever. And I said, here, I have this tool. And he used that tool, fixed his Jeep, and was able to back up again. I think it was that he couldn't go into the yard. And it saved the day till he could get it to the repair to get it fixed. And anyways, I threw it in my purse. Next day we flew out, I forgot about it, CSA was walking away going, yeah, this is really cool. And I was really mad because it said it was a Jeep tool, and I didn't have time to get it back, to check it in my bag, to get my bag back. So there's all different kinds. I like having them because they have beer opener, they have wine bottle openers, you got a pair of scissors. Yeah, some of them have scissors. I can't find mine. John used to have a set that had scissors, and he used them all the time. And then a little knife to cut things. But talking about scissors, I always take a little pair of scissors. I use them every time I travel for something. Cut off a tab or a piece of string. But you can take up to, I think it said 3 inches from the pivot for TSA. But I recommend before you travel, don't listen to anybody else. Go online, Google TSA regulations, and they will tell you what you can and cannot take on that plane because it changes every single day. I can go through TSA one direction. I can go through 2 or 3 TSAs on a trip, and every time it's always different what you can do, what you can't. So it's always good to check their regulations. If you're for the 10-day trip, I'll show you in a minute what all I'm taking with me. But I plan on doing some laundry. I'm taking enough underwear for the entire week or for the entire 10 days. Because I figure that's small enough. I can compact it small enough that I can do that. But I am taking these in case I need to wash something before I wear it again. I will likely wear things a couple times before I wash it, unless they get dirty or I feel like I was sweating or something. But they have these laundry detergent sheets, and you can buy these off the Drug Mart. I didn't see them at Walmart. They may have them, but you cut them into strips, and then you throw your clothes, a couple pieces of your clothing into a sink, and you agitate it with your hand, and then you rinse it really good, and you bring it out, you put it in a towel, and you roll it up, and you hang it to dry. And it also works the same for these little Tide packets. There's 3 of them in here. I've been using, I didn't even know these existed until I was doing the videos on this. I have used these for years. Going on vacation or something, I always throw these in case I need to freshen something up. And there's 3 in a pack, and you can get them anywhere that they have like travel size items for sale. Walmart, Drug Mart, Rite Aid, any place like that.
So you use the Tide just like you would the sheets?
Yes. I'll likely throw in an S-hook in case. I recommend these. I recommend that you get a toiletry bag that hangs like these. And if you can't, if you have one that has a little strap on, you can use these little S-hooks and just use them to hang them. And I do recommend that you make sure that your toiletry bag, especially if you're rooming with somebody else, your toiletry bag can be hung because you don't know what size sink you're going to get. I can't remember. I know that it was really small, but the bathroom, again, I'm going to talk about Italy. The bathroom in Italy was so small that we laughed really hard about the size of the shower. It was probably, I think we measured it, and it was like 26 by 26 or something really ridiculous. And that was just the shower. So, they're taking these old buildings and they're trying to put in, you know, that used to have bathrooms, and they're ancient. They're very ancient, because they were there for thousands of years before the United States was here. So they're very old buildings, and they try to niche in a little bathroom sometimes. I'm not sure. It sounds like Colette. These are nicer hotels, but I don't want to promise that, because until you actually see it, we looked at a picture of our room online when we went to Assisi, and we're like, wow, the beds are decent size, and we got in there, and they were really small. Like my friend had told me that St. Francis of Assisi was a really short guy, and when we got to our hotel and I seen our beds, I'm like, well, apparently they built those beds here around St. Francis of Assisi, because these are really small beds. But we laughed really hard because the brochure, they used a wide angle lens that made them look really big. So I will not promise anything from a picture or listening to anybody else. I just try to tell you, just be prepared. So. For the flight, I'm going to take my iPad or Kindle, and I'm going to have the Kindle app. I have the Kindle app on my iPad. I also have it on my phone, but I also have a Kindle. I'm not taking it to Ireland. But if you don't have a tablet, you know, if you want to read or something, these are really nice. And next week we are going to talk about how to download books, and we're going to have the library talk as well. But I just brought mine along so you can see the size of one if you're not familiar with the Kindles. They're very small, the size of a book, and you can get thousands of books on these to read magazines and things like that on your flight, so you don't have to carry a lot of different books. I brought this because everything I read about Ireland said to make sure you had a high wind umbrella. And last week I happened to be at Costco up in Perrysburg, and they had these umbrellas, and they said they withstand 75 mile per hour wind. Hopefully we are not in 75 mile per hour wind, but just to know, and they weren't that, I mean, they were $15. That's not that much more than a regular compact umbrella. So I did bring that along so you could see it. Okay, ladies, and your purses. I didn't bring the carry-on bags, but the guys might be interested in the carry-on bags. I'm a Bagolini fan. These are Bagolinis that I have had for 15, one of them, I think this one I've had for 15 years. It's heavier than the rest of them. The rest of them, you can come up and check them out after I'm done. They're very light. But what I like about them is they're made for travel. They have compartments in them. This one I'm donating to our first derby, May 1st, and I'm going to put some travel items in for our trips. But it has pockets for all different things. But what's nice is it's RFID protected, so they can't. The biggest stuff in other countries is that they try to scan your credit card information, and this is blocked. The fabric blocks that from happening. If you don't buy one of those, I recommend an RFID card, or they have envelopes that you can put your credit cards in to block anybody being able to get that information. I think these were a 4-pack or 5-pack, and I forget how much they were. I did get these on Amazon. I had never seen them before, but I think if you go to your bank and ask them, they might have the envelopes. I know sometimes businesses will pass them out. Like I think Sheriff Etzel used to give them out, but that's been a long time ago. He's not sheriff anymore. But I'm not sure where else you find them. I'm sure the envelopes you can get them off of Amazon.
Please explain what you just talked about, please. I'm not sure I understand.
Oh, the card.
Yeah.
You put it over the top of your credit card and your wallet, and it blocks anybody from being able to get your information.
You call them RFIDs?
RFID, and this says and NFC. I'm not sure, and it says electronic blocking technology. But the Bagalinis, they got crossovers. This one has a hoop for your belt. I read a lot, and they did a lot of places. A lot of the YouTube videos did not recommend fanny packs, but I feel like that's different. You don't want your personal item back here because what they do is the pickpockets will come up and distract you, and a partner will come up behind you and take stuff out of your bag. And you gotta watch that with backpacks too. So if you do plan on taking a backpack, make sure that you safety pin your clip or somehow safety pin your zipper down so that they cannot get into your bag. Take as much precaution as possible. Be very careful with anything that you have on your back. Going to, when you're out touring and in a touristy area. So this one's actually my favorite, but I have these up here if you want to check them out. This one is really heavy, but I think this was I think this is the oldest one I have. Somebody else told me about it. The other thing is, I got it when I went to Italy. The straps, supposedly they can't cut the strap. I guess they told us when we went to Italy that it's not uncommon for them to come along and cut your purse like on a motorcycle, cut your strap of your purse and grab it and go. And these supposedly they are uncuttable. So Bagalini is they also have carry-ons. I had a couple of those. I don't like them. To me they're not the right sizes, and I don't use them. They have pockets in them too. But they do sell these. Mindy seen I was going to talk about them, and she went down to TJ Maxx and got one. TJ Maxx does carry them. I've never seen them at Kohl's. They may have them, but you can order them online as well. There's a travel website too, and I can't think what it is, that sells it sells a different brand. Now there's one for land. I tried it and I sent it back through Amazon. I didn't like it. You have a Bagalini too, yeah.
How do you spell that?
Baggallini.
ALL. Would AAA have that kind of stuff too?
If they don't, they can tell you how to get them. I'm not familiar with what. I have AAA, but I never use the travel cargo. I'm not sure. For organizing because I can see what's in them. You can buy these. I've seen them at Myers before. These I got off of Amazon. I'm an Amazon buyer because it's convenient. I had these little ones in my house that I had for several years. I think I got them like at Hobby Lobby of all places. But they're a little bit smaller. They're not. You can see through them, but not that well. I recommend if you plan on packing light, you might want to throw in a little compact bag like this. You can buy this is a backpack. I've had this backpack for a long time. I always throw it in when I go places. If you're going out on the bus for the day, but you're going to leave all your stuff behind, you want to throw in a couple things, you can just throw this in to take on the bus. Throw an extra jacket in, your whatever umbrella. They're kind of nice to carry things for the day. But also, this one is a little bit bigger one, and it comes like this. You can throw it in your suitcase. It's super light. And that way, if you do buy too much and you cannot get it all into your luggage and your carry-on, you have another bag that you can check. Or you can carry this as your carry-on and check your other carry-on, your second carry-on. So they also have them where they're more like a carry-on. They're also handy to throw your dirty laundry in, and you can check it with your dirty laundry, and then you got your new stuff on your regular bag or your carry-on bag. So organizer bags. Of course, I showed you the clear ones. Oh, I always throw a little bag like this in for shopping when you go out for the day, or just to throw if you don't want to take too much stuff. You can, your tour book or something can go in there. So these are my organizer bags, and this is my original one. Somebody gave it to me as a gift, and I still use these, but these don't compress down. So if I'm not worried about compressing, I use those. But these are really nice. Janine actually got me into these, and I'll show you how. But you put your clothing in here, and you zip it shut, and then it has another zipper, and it compresses it down. This one is one that I got several years ago, and it also compresses down, but not as well as that one. But I still love this one, and I won't get rid of it. And the reason is we used to go to Mexico. Has anybody ever gone to Mexico? When you go through TSA in Mexico, they have a red light and a green light. And you go up and you have to push a button, and if you get the red light, they search your suitcase. And we had people that we were traveling with, and one of the ladies, they were going through her suitcase, and they opened it up, and everybody in our group started going, "Oh, I see Sandy's underwear," and making fun. And I'm like, I am securing mine better so nobody can see my stuff, because I know it's going to happen to me someday. The other reason I like this one is it has a board, shows you how to fold stuff, which is kind of handy. But I like it because, have you ever went through the airport and you see some poor guy whose luggage broke, and he's got clothes all over right in the middle of the airport? And that was the other reason. I feel that all of these, they keep your stuff kind of more confined, so that if something bad does happen in your luggage, the zipper breaks and you don't have your clothing laid all out on the floor of the airport. So it's just one of my phobias. And then there's the compression kind. And Janine, I think this is what she likes to use. I like them, but for a different reason. I like them because you can see what's in them, and this is great for packing outfits. So what you do is there's two different kinds. This one you roll out. So you put your clothing in here. This is one pair of pants and a t-shirt. And you make sure there's just a little hole, and then you roll it. And you get all the air out. And then you make sure it's shut really tight. And then it compresses it down flat. They also have some that have a vacuum that will vacuum all the air out. But it's one more tool. To me, that's just one more tool that you have to take. So, but whatever you feel comfortable with, I'm just kind of showing you options.
Are those called compression bags?
Yes. Now this one is my newest purchase, and this is the first time I've ever been able to go to Florida. So this has, I like it because I can just live out of this for the week. And I have my pajama pants in here, t-shirt, but I have one, shorts and a pair of jeans there. I have 6.
And on the other side of the bag.
Oh yeah, 6 tops. And I got a compartment down here, and I have my hat. I got my, I have my fishing shirt, and I have my bathing suit and my sundress for dressing occasion or whatever. And my socks went in here. But what I love is, and that's all I need for the week. I have never stayed anywhere in Florida that didn't have, I mean, I've stayed in Airbnbs, and I've stayed, the hotel I stayed in had laundry facility. So I can wash my clothes halfway through, but this would get me through time. This is probably going to be my carry-on bag for Florida. I already have my flip-flops in. Yeah. This is a jacket. I will likely take a light jacket outside of what I have on. I still got plenty of room over here, if you can't see. I still got plenty of room here. I got outside pockets. And I am packed for a week in Florida. And when I get there, I just open it up, hang it up, and I'm ready to go for the week. Easy unpacking. I'll talk about this bag. I talked about the other two. This one is like a carry-on on wheels. It's handy. And you can, it's easy to carry with the handles. The only thing I don't like about this, oh, it's okay on this one. A lot of times it'll flip over backwards on me when I set it down. So I have to set it down most of the time like that. But it's not bad. When I don't like carrying it when I carry these because I struggle with that one trying to get through the airport. That one's always the 2 wheels just handled differently. So this is my personal carry-on bag, and one of those purses will go in here. I have plenty of room, probably for the small one. That's the one I like to take. And these are great. This is what a lot of people that went to New Orleans with us were surprised. They didn't realize how popular the backpacks are. Everybody in the airport has backpacks. You have this, you have your 2 bags, and it's, you know, so much easier to get through the airport. They have the side pockets, my reading glasses, and my water bottle will fit over here. Got a couple little pockets. On the inside of this one, it's got a pocket for your iPad or laptop or whatever. I will have a few essentials in here. This is my just in case bag. I have a couple Band-Aids in there. I have wipes. I have my essential oils in here. Just the Benefiber. You can also put that in your other carry-on bag, but I had just put in here my little snacks. I will have this for Ireland because I don't know what I'm getting for dinner on the plane. It could be something I really hate, but that way I got a couple snacks. My cords. This is my, remember I said I had a freshen up bag? I got my comb in here, or my brush. I got dry shampoo. I got deodorant wipes. for freshening up in the morning, facial wipes and cleanser, just a few of the cosmetics I use, and my contacts, because I'll be wearing my glasses on the plane. So my contact conditioner in there. Everything I need to freshen up in the morning, one of those little toothbrushes. So I can just grab this when we land at the airport and freshen up. But when I get on the airplane, this is the bag that's going to come out. Because it's a long flight. I won't have this for Florida. But for a long flight, I have my Kashima, which I'm also going to use as a neck scarf. And I will use this as a blanket. I had it here a little bit ago. You can buy the little, my pillow. I have a little blanket that's like in a little carrying case that the guys can buy, like at, again, TJ's. They got a big selection of them. But this is great for a blanket. I would use this as a wrap, a scarf, or a bathing suit cover up. So these large scarves and Kashimas are great just to throw in. But where I will mostly get the use out of it is on the plane. And I have one like this that matches my bathing suit that I usually take to Florida. I do have it packed, and then I have a different bathing suit. But it's a little bit lighter, but it's a little bit of warmth for any of those. And multi-use. I mean, you can use it for so many different things. There's don't buy, especially if you're trying to pack light, don't buy a swimsuit cover up. You know, I can use this for a swimsuit cover up to run to the pool. In fact, I might when we're in Ireland, because I don't know how cold it's going to be, and I think there's only one hotel that would have a pool. My other thing in my pull-out bag is just some things I might need, like an eye mask. I'm taking a face mask if the person beside me is coughing and hacking. I'm putting it on. You know, chapstick and shout wipes, just little things that you think that you might have, and I put those on a list. On that list that you have, I put ideas. They're not things that you have to take, but ideas. But I like this because you know you don't have very much pocket space on the plane. This is a tray cover that you can buy, and it has pockets. And you flip this over your tray. My glasses are in here. My power pack is in here because I guarantee I'm going to need it. And there's not going to be any place on that plane to plug in. Some Clorox wipes because I'm going to wipe down all surfaces before I sit down. And hand sanitizer. So you might want to consider something like that to make yourself comfortable because you're going to be living in that 3x3 spot for a really long flight. And then the other thing that I'll have in my personal bag is my document case, and I will have my passport in here. If we have any documents that we have to carry, they're probably going to be on our phones, our airline tickets and things like that, but anything like that that I think I have to have on the plane, they will go in here, and that will go in my little backpack. This is the stuff it's not on that personal bag. This is stuff that I will be using in Ireland. I have all my claws, Q-tips, a razor, a pair of tweezers, fingernail polish remover. You can even buy those in like little individual things so that you don't have to bring a big thing up if you're taking fingernail polish. And then I've got my hairbrush, my pick was in my freshen up bag, and I'll take everything out of there, put in here. My eyeshadow, my eyeliner, and all those little individual, remember I showed you the Clinique bag? All the ones that I'm currently using are in here for that trip. There's two different types of methods. Well, there's several different types of methods to pack light. Some people say to pack outfits, and I don't think that works for me. So one method is they call it the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it's in your packet. And you take I think it's 5 shirts, 4 pants, whatever. What I did, and I have fell in love with it, is ChatGPT. It's scary, but it's really cool. If you go to ChatGPT by Google, if you go to Google and just type in ChatGPT, you can do it right now if you like. And you go to it, you can ask it anything. This morning I was asking it side effects or something, and it'll tell me all the side effects, and it'll even ask me questions. So it's very scary. But I put in there that I was going to Ireland for 10 days in April, and it told me everything. I asked it, what should I pack? But I want to pack light. And this is what it told me. And everything in this is interchangeable. I can put any top with any pair of pants in this. And I have dressy outfits and I have casual outfits. One of the things that I have read a lot, and my daughter-in-law and son are going to be in Ireland the same time we are with another group with their church group. And she told me that, well, you're supposed to wear dressy jeans so that you don't stand out as a tourist. Okay, I understand that, but we're going to be in a group of 42 people. They haven't figured out that we're tourists. Yeah, they're clueless. So my theory is I Googled. So I started Googling pictures of tourists in Ireland, and almost everybody had jeans on, and they weren't dressy. They were jeans. I think wear what makes you feel comfortable, and so this, like I said, this is what I'm wearing to go on the plane. I might change it up with this jacket because it's casual. I plan on being comfortable. You're going to be on buses and you're going to be climbing stairs, and but just be prepared. I always wear what I feel comfortable, and sometimes I feel comfortable dressing up to go out to eat. So I'll be taking a pair of black pants that I can dress up or down, a pair of khakis. These are quick dry fabric, and they're Eddie Bauer, and you can find them sometimes at TJ Maxx or Kohl's has them. Or you can go on Eddie Bauer website. Now they do have some that are lined for warmth, and I didn't like them. I ordered some and they're going back because they're just too bulky. And I'm throwing in a set of insulated underwear, and and I have a sweatshirt. I have an oversized sweatshirt. I have a little bit dressier sweater. I have a t-shirt so I can do layers because I have a feeling there's going to be some 60-degree days that I may not want a long sleeve. So just plan on dressing in layers. I have a dressier tank that I can dress up or down. And it recommended a dress. And so I threw in a dress that I can wear casual or I can dress it up, and a cardigan to go with it. And or my red wrap to go with it. I did ask, I had lunch this past week with a couple of representatives from Colette, and I asked them about the dress. I said, is that, because there's a lot of people, and please don't think you have to bring a dress. If you don't feel comfortable in a dress, do not pack a dress. But anyways, and I said it's stuff I had read as you might want it for Guinness or the medieval banquet, and they said no. They said dress, nice pants are nice, but they said the last night of the reception at the castle, that you may want to dress them. And he said, but they said it's not necessary. So I know a lot of people have been asking me those questions. actually, this is my pajamas. I didn't think you guys needed to display that. But I have my insulated underwear in here, which I will take for layers if I need it. They said they planned on weather about like this in New Orleans, about 40, mid-40s to about 65. So they said the flowers start blooming in February over there, so it should be really pretty. So this I started to roll. So there's a couple different ways you can do it. Some people say roll everything, and some people say no, don't roll everything. I think you should have a combination. To fit this cube, you do whatever just works. So to fold it, you just kind of get it in a rectangle that fits that cube, that will fit that cube. And you roll it really tight. So I'm going to do, that is going to be my carry-on because it's got my pajamas in. So I want a pair of jeans in there. And I'm not going to roll those. I'm going to fold those. Because they're bulkier. They're a little bit heavier. I feel that some things are bulkier. It's easier just to fold them. But I make sure it takes up the whole cube. Like, it fills up the whole cube, so it's not just taking a part of it. I'm going to do one more pair of them. I'm going to do my khakis. Because I want to make sure this is for my carry-on. So I want something that if they lost my luggage and I never see it again, I got enough that I can get through the week. And I zip it up. And then I compress it. It's a little tricky because this fabric lets you get into the zipper. And I kind of hold one of my fingers, my middle finger in there to kind of keep the fabric out of the way. And then I keep compressing it. And it's organized. It's not blowing all over. And for wet bathing suits or whatever. And that's all the more room it takes on my camera. So I have plenty of room for my boots because I plan on putting my boots in there, especially if I know it's going to rain. I don't know if these are the boots I'm going to take, but my rain boots. I put them in here in case if they're wet or they're dirty. they don't get everything else.
Can you get those on Amazon too?
I don't know where I got those at. I've had those. I used to work at Carmar. I got them from Carmar. You can get, they're mucks. You can get mucks. Rule King. So I still have room for my jacket. I could even put my pillow in there, and that's all just my carry-on. But this I usually just keep it on the outside of my carry-on bag. And my hat, everything I read said your umbrella's probably gonna get ruined, and they recommend rain hats. So this is a packable rain hat. And all of my underwear is going on my carry-on. That's
When you was gonna put them in there.
And I kept it in here. I didn't figure everybody needs underwear. Trust me, there's enough in there for at least 10 days. And I have enough in the, I almost could get if I take this out, I can get my cosmetic bag in there. But I also have enough cosmetics on my freshen up bag for a few days. That after that, if I don't find my luggage, I can always go to a drugstore and get a couple of things. If I really feel I need it. I like the leggings. I know that doesn't help the guys, but they're comfortable. They got the side pockets. I always make sure when I get leggings, I get side pockets for my phone. You can dress them up or keep them casual. I can put a long tunic on with this, and it's dressy. Nice pair of shoes. It's dressy.
Teresa,
Yeah.
is there something that you may have to bring on the work?
I have no idea. I doubt it. I really do.
What was
But-
the question?
About bringing your own washcloth, because I know when my husband and I was in Venice last year,
Yeah.
the hotel we stayed at, our travel agency doesn't bring our own washcloth. They did not have washcloth there.
If you do,
Yeah. Yeah.
if you do, if you're worried about that, I had somewhere, there's like these real thin cloths that are
Yeah.
disposable that you can buy. And I would just get enough to take, but I never seen that, and this is Colette. I can't say enough that they do everything first class. Like, and I've talked to people that have went with Colette on this exact trip, and they're like, everything was top notch. So, and everything I read, usually their hotels have more than our hotels. I mean, we are going to be having a meeting with Colette closer to time, and I would ask that question with them, because they should know their hotels. But I really doubt that you need to keep your own washcloths. That sounds almost like a hostel.
Well, now, we stayed downtown Venice, and the hotel we stayed at did not have it. But then the last hotel we stayed at the airport, more modern, and they did have washcloths.
Yeah, these are all pretty modern, except, I mean, I don't know if you would online to look at the hotels. It's on the original brochure, but they have all the hotels listed. And they are beautiful. They are absolutely beautiful. For those of you that did make it to our pizza and passports, or, please stop by and look at our trips. But we have 10 people, or 10 rooms booked for our Portugal trip, and it's a riverboat cruise, if you guys have not heard about it, in Portugal, and it's going to be a fabulous trip. So that's coming up in fall of 2027. So, I did give you a list, a packing list. Like I said, it's only for your, what you feel comfortable taking, what you want to take. I felt like when I was doing this is a lot of information, maybe more for the women. I feel bad for the guys, but. And I hope you all join us next week. We plan on talking about apps and how to download books and movies and stuff like that, because on that long flight, I want everybody that if you want to watch something, you can download movies and stuff. And so I hope to have the information. This is all new for me too. I've never done this, some of this stuff, so leave it to Amy. She's always getting me out of my comfort zone. It's always good.
So, Teresa,
Yes.
you have a good set of earbuds that you use on the plane?
I have my my Apple buds, but I do have different ones. JBL's pretty good. What's the one, Mindy, that
I don't know, you and I got the same one, I don't remember what it's called.
I do have my earbuds packed in there, but they're off brand. JBL's not bad, I don't think. But
I didn't know if you needed good ones or just some.
they're all about as good as what you pay for.
I picked some up at Walmart for $10.
Okay.
And those have been great just when my AirPods, when I let them die, I use those and they are just fine. If like you lose them, it was $10.
Okay.
Now,
Can I contribute to this? Sorry.
Yes.
The earbud is only going to be as good as the sound quality that you are giving it. So if you are playing music through your phone, do not buy $250 earbuds because you're only going to get $30 quality from the file itself that is being played. So noise canceling is great, things like that, but don't spend hundreds of dollars on earbuds if you're going to be listening to it on your cell phone.
Thank you, Jane.
see, between, none of us know everything, but between all of us. I'm gonna stop right there, I don't want
But you pretty much got all of your Ireland clothes into shoes.
yeah, pretty much. I got a few things here left, and I'm going to one. This is gonna more than fit into that pack, into that check bag. And I'm gonna take my boots, a pair of sneakers, whatever I'm gonna walk in, and maybe a pair of ballet dress shoes. But and you may not even need your rain boots. I don't know. I won't know till a couple days before we leave when I look at the weather thing, whether I decide to take my rain boots. I'm gonna try to take something though that's not going to log water if it's raining. But so anyways, so I think I showed you enough. Is there any? Do you guys have any questions?
I do.
Yeah. I guess that's okay.
So you showed us a lot of bags. Are you going to take a check bag plus a carry-on bag?
Yep, I'm taking that check bag, that carry-on bag, and this is my, instead of a purse, they call it a personal item bag. This is my personal item bag. It will go underneath my seat. I will take out that tray cover I showed, and it's gonna have everything that I need. And I will have a purse in here to use when I'm in Ireland. So I'll do the same pretty much for this, except for I won't need that tray. Say for Florida, it's a 2.5 hour flight, so but I will put my iPad in here, my charger, and my cords. So it'll be a lot lighter on the Florida, I should say. So, did you guys learn anything?
Lots.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
That's all we can ask. Like I said, sometimes our days off are hit and miss. So, but we always get back with you. If we don't in a few days, give us a call back because we just lost a message or whatever. But we're always there to help you. If you have any other questions or need anything. So, how many are coming next Friday?
Coming next Friday.
We are. What's that?
I didn't know what the question was.
Are you coming next Friday?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Yeah. That'll be more on apps and some safety things and it's a lot. I just want everybody to stay safe. Yes. I have a recent hair dryer.
Do you use curling iron?
I don't use anything. I use none. I'll show you what I use on my hair because I'm coming to download stuff already.
We can shove some in.
As far as the washcloth question too, I take a little scrubber. I mean, this is what I use in my shower every day. A little cook. But I use this on my hair. This dries my hair, and I wash my hair at night. And I take out all the excess moisture, and I put in mousse or whatever, and I sleep on it. And the next day, I don't use a curling iron or anything. So I haven't used a blow dryer or a curling iron or a flat iron probably in 14 years. So, we'll have to ask the Colette people that question. I don't. I assume they have hair dryers, but in the hotel room because they're servicing Americans.
I
And
bet
Europeans.
99% they'll have.
Yeah.
That's why I use shampoo.
And I almost brought a little iron. I sew and quilt, and there's these little tiny irons you can buy, and I use it all the time for sewing, so it will work for clothes. But I just don't.
Rely on it.
You can. I take little safety pins. One more thing I forgot. And I feel this is very important with the luggage tags that you print out or even handwrite it out. All your information, your name, your phone number, everything that's on your luggage tag. But also put your flight information and your hotel information and any information that you can provide and put it inside your luggage on top. And then if your luggage gets lost and your tags get ripped off, I mean, things happen on those conveyor belts and those, things get ripped up. And if they do lose all that information, this is on the inside showing all your information, all your important information on how to get a hold of you. Oh, here's those little claws. If you're worried about washcloths, I would just buy some of these.
They actually have those where they actually have soap in them. And all
Okay.
you have to do is put them underwater if you're worried about that stuff.
Yeah. So if you're worried about washcloths, it doesn't hurt to have a few of these. I'll try to put a couple of these on the plane with me for that long of a flight. You get a little spill, and sometimes the stewardess is clear up at the front. It's just they're just things like that are handy to have.
Thank you, Teresa. That was really helpful and
Yes.
informative, and appreciate it.
I hope I didn't go too long.
or not much. Part two.